All right, welcome everybody to our second in the series of the Kentik Tech Talks. Today we're going to cover how to detect and mitigate DDoS attacks before your remote workforce is disrupted. So as we see a lot of our enterprise customers having their workforces move to a primarily work from home model for the foreseeable future, DDoS attacks are becoming even more of a critical thing for our customers, keeping that remote workforce productive when they're accessing the network from their homes becomes even more critical to our customers. Quick background on Kentik. So we are a company that was founded about 6 years ago. We have team members just over 90 plus at this point. A little over 250 customers. We're headquartered in San Francisco. For those of you who didn't join us for the last Tech Talk, my name is Justin Ryburn. I am the Director of Solutions Engineering here at Kentik, and I'll be walking you through the material here for the next about 10 or 15 minutes. The agenda for today, we're going to talk a little bit about cyber attacks being on the rise, what we're seeing as industry trends, seeing in the market. Then we'll get into the impact that DDoS attacks have in today's environment. We'll then talk a little bit about what Kentik's solution is for DDoS detection and mitigation. And then we will do a quick demo on how the Kentik product is used to mitigate DOS attacks. So a few pieces of information here to get us started. There was an article recently talking about how lucrative the global market is for purchasing DDoS. So you can actually go and hire a DDoS attack to be run against a website, against a network edge at an enterprise, and take that site down for 2 days for as little as $89 for 2 days. You can do an entire week for about $600. So it really doesn't take that much as far as the cost to be able to purchase a DDoS attack, to have someone launch a DDoS attack against a network asset or against a network edge. You can kind of see on the chart on the right here, this is from Cisco's annual internet report that they do every year, talking about the growth rate in the number of attacks that they're seeing out on the internet. And so from 2018 projected forward to 2023, seeing about a 14% compound annual growth rate. So quite a bit of increase in the amount of DOS attacks that we're seeing in the industry. And Kentik is seeing the same thing in our customer base. Over the course of the first quarter, right as we were moving into this work from home model and a lot of our enterprise customers, we're seeing a 200% increase the number of daily DOS attacks that our customers are seeing and detecting in their network with the Kentik platform. So this problem's is critical to find a solution for as it's ever been. So how does Kentik detect and mitigate a DDoS attack? We have a multi-dimensional monitoring platform. We take in, as you can see on the diagram here, we take in flow data, BGP data, network metadata from those edge routers. And so we see the legitimate traffic coming into the network. We see the attack traffic coming into the network. We take data about that traffic into our platform. And then we have all kinds of algorithms that look for changes in those traffic patterns, look for anomalies, look for what looks to be DDoS attack by baselining that traffic and looking for deviations. We have all kinds of integrations with third-party platforms for doing notifications when we detect an attack. So we can send out things like a PagerDuty page. We can notify you on Slack. We can pop a ticket in OpsGenie or ServiceNow. So we can integrate with a lot of these third-party platforms to let you know when there's an attack in your network. And then beyond that, we can automate the process of mitigating the DDoS attack. So we have built into the platform native support for remote trigger black hole and BGP flow spec mitigations that we can advertise back into the customer's network. But we also have partnerships with the logos you see here on the slide, with A10, with Radware. We just recently announced a new partnership with Cloudflare's Magic Transit for our enterprise customers that are consuming that cloud-based service. So we can act as the detection engine, see that attack take place in the network, and then automate the mitigation of that attack. All right, I'm going to flip over to another tab, and we'll do a quick demo of how the Kentik Detect platform can be used to detect and mitigate DDoS attacks in your network. So this is the DDoS defense workflow that we have within the Kentik Detect platform. And the dashboard or the screen that we're seeing here tells us a little bit about what we're seeing in the network. how many active attacks do we currently have in the network? How many active mitigations do we currently have that we're running at the moment? How many attacks have we seen within the last 24 hours? And then we have this thing called a backfill that we can do, where we can build a baseline from historical data, so we can see what the status of running any of those backfills is. And then we have a snapshot of the last 24 hours on our network, what it looks like from a bits per second, from a packets per second, and from a unique source IP addresses perspective. So we can look at not only bits per second and packets per second, kind of the volume of your traffic, we can also keep track of the counts of the number of unique source IPs, which is a metric that's really important when it comes to looking at distributed denial of service attacks. The more distributed the attack is, that can be a key leading indicator of an attack. So as I scroll down, you can see the attacks that we've had for the last 24 hours. And then each one of these I can click on and get a little bit more information. Looks like this ICMP attack just ended while I was talking. So I can click on this, I can find out more information about it. I can find out what the IP address that was under attack was, how many packets per second, bits per second we had for that, how many unique source IPs were currently under attack when it was ongoing. And this particular one, we automated the mitigation. So we did a mitigation on this one, and we mitigated it using RTBH, remote trigger black hole. So we automatically mitigated this one. If I click on this blue view details button, then it takes me into a screen that gives me a lot more information about this attack. I can see a graph that shows me over time, what did that traffic look like? You know, this was what my baseline was before the attack came in. Then I can see my attack traffic on the graph as the attack came in, as it went on, and then I can see the traffic kind of tail off as the attack ended. Again, I get the similar stats that I got on the same screen, just a little bit more detail about at the peak, how many packets per second did I have, how many unique source IPs did I have, how much was that above my normal threshold that I have set for an attack that I'm trying to catch like this, when did it start and end, and then I get a little bit more information around over here about that attack. How often am I seeing attacks similar to this in my network? How many times am I seeing attacks against a particular destination IP address, against a particular customer? In this case, it was against a customer I have called Pair Incorporated. And then from here, I can dive into even more detail by opening this in a dashboard. If you followed along last week with our previous tech talk that we did, we went into a little bit more details on how you can use the dashboards to get into more detail. All right, that concludes the demo that we had for today. If you are interested in hearing more about this, interested in trying this product in your environment, there's an email address here on this slide. Feel free to drop us a note. You can sign up for a 30-day free trial. We'll get you started and show you what kind of DDoS attacks we can detect and mitigate in your own environment. Thanks for tuning in.